Welcome to Tesla Vision. Today we will talk about the most recent Tesla news and updates. Let's get into it right away. Tesla's written proposal to the government of the United Kingdom, in which Tesla asked to raise EVs grants and to put a ban on fossil fuel cars, along with a ban on hybrids, having both combustion engines and batteries, was strongly condemned by the car industry. Tesla has been planning to convince the UK government to provide bigger grants for its electric vehicles by demolishing petrol and diesel vehicle makers. However, those strongly argued against the ban and warned that the sales would be falling and the job crisis would develop from this quick transition towards electric cars. In the submission, Tesla claims a revenue-neutral system for the government if the government takes action on the proposal. Tesla demands a rise in the gasoline tax and tariffs imposed on fossil fuel vehicles in order to get higher subsidies and VAT exemption for its electric cars. By doing so, the EV-making company is probably trying to make fossil fuel cars so expensive that the electric vehicles actually seem to be cheaper in comparison. According to Tesla's submission of July 2020, it seems quite logical to make traditional vehicle makers pay for the climate crisis they cause. Tesla has been supporting nationwide uptake of zero-emission vehicles and accelerating the transition towards electric vehicles. Production of battery-operated vehicles is an excellent approach to put a check on carbon emissions. Yet on the other hand, the eco-activists have also criticized Mr. Musk for high energy-consuming cryptocurrency purchases. Putting higher taxes on petrol and diesel vehicles seems to be a mainstay by eco-activists to compensate for the damage caused by carbon emissions. UK government are hesitating to increase the costs due to the fear of political backlash. During the coronavirus epidemic, people in the UK got used to using their vehicles as a safer mode of transportation. Therefore, the gas tax imposition idea has been frozen by Rishi Sunak, a member of the British Conservative Party, for 11 years. He has also championed a grant of £50 billion to petrol and diesel vehicle makers. In November of 2020, the UK government allowed the sale and use of hybrids until 2035, but Tesla lobbied to ban fossil fuel cars in 2032. Based on the continued persuasion by Tesla and reports from its climate committee, the UK government have shifted the timeline for the total ban of combustion engine vehicles from 2040 to 2030. The car industry argued strongly against the ban sooner than 2040, as they are still making huge profits from fossil fuel vehicles. The argument of Tesla seems to be similar to that of the UK's Committee of Climate Change, that also supports the idea to ban the hybrids by 2032. Tesla, however, wants to ban not only hybrids, but also all petrol and diesel vehicles by 2032. The UK government decided to bring the deadline closer to meet its decarbonization goals. The scientists of the UK Committee on Climate Change, who advised the government to take the necessary steps in order to control environmental pollution, have been a major force behind this decision. According to them, fossil fuel cars are the primary cause of climate change. Within the past 3 years, companies opposing the transition to electric cars have met 209 times with the UK government representatives, compared with 153 meetings held by companies supportive of this idea. Some car companies, including McLaren, Honda, Ford, Jaguar Land Rover, and BMW, strongly condemned the ban of petrol and diesel cars before 2040 and argued to exempt hybrid cars from the earlier deadline of 2035. They claimed that Tesla had been exaggerating the climate damage concerns, but their findings did not match the observations made by eco-activists. The ban is going to benefit Tesla sales directly, as they strongly supported the idea that carmakers be forced to sell zero-emission cars only. Tesla demanded a £3,000 grant for EVs by applying a tax of £49 per sale of fossil fuel cars in 2019. When the market share of battery-operated cars reached 20%, then the tax would have to increase to about £750 per fossil fuel car. The company also demanded that people be paid so that they may shift their driving habits towards electric vehicles and stop driving climate-polluting petrol and diesel cars. The proposal also included a charging promise by the UK government to install car chargers on any street in the UK when actually needed. A lobbyist group, the Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders, claims that if fossil fuel cars in the United Kingdom are indeed banned by or in 2040, there can be expected a sales plunge in their number of about 2 million units. If cars were to be banned in 2035, the UK car sales would drop to about 1.2 million, yet a 2030 ban would entail the drop from 2.3 million to 800,000 units. The UK government will face an economic crisis due to a 2030 ban, as the sales crisis will also accompany a job crisis nationwide. A ban earlier than 2040, quote, would put significant strain on commercial viability, end quote. The factories of Rolls-Royce and Mini are also owned by BMW in the UK. This company in particular is very concerned about the decisions made by the UK government. They strongly opposed the 2030 ban announcement by saying that there is no studies conclusively proving that consumers actually demand the electric vehicle transition. A BMW representative claimed that this switching of fossil fuel cars for electric cars is quite rapid and would lead to serious consequences. Ford and Honda raised the point of the prospect of an employment plunge if the manufacturing of fossil fuel cars shut down in 2030. The UK government is well aware of the fact that the decision poses a serious threat to UK car companies. The sales will plummet and the job crisis will hit the UK industry. The coronavirus pandemic certainly helped to draw the attention of both potential vehicle buyers and vehicle manufacturers towards electric vehicle technology. Moreover, it caused shutdowns of various car-making and selling facilities, forcing the manufacturing to follow post-Brexit trade rules. Major investments have been made to cope with the situation by launching electric car manufacturing processes. However, the forecast of lobby groups denied such switching since the start of the pandemic. They lobbied the UK government not to take major exaggerations into account in order to impose the ban earlier, as it would directly affect the car sales. The lobbyist groups argued for exclusion of the vehicles like hearses and ambulances from the ban. The supercars exemption was demanded by McLaren. According to Mike Hawkes, Society of Motor Manufacturers and Traders chief executive, it seems difficult to convince all the drivers to switch from fossil fuel cars to electric cars because the new deadline for this huge shift lies less than 9 years ahead. He expressed his concerns about the costs of purchasing and charging electric vehicles that can be less affordable than those of fossil fuel cars across the board in the United Kingdom. Some drivers will hold on to their trusted existing cars. The UK Director of Transport and Environment has been supportive of Tesla's arguments, claiming that the car industry is panicking needlessly, making unrealistic predictions about the sales plunges. He claimed that the actions of the traditional car industry giants are clearly showing how eagerly they want to stop the UK government from imposing the ban. Most companies have already started their efforts to shift to electric cars, but they are portraying a wrong image, claiming that the UK car industry would be devastated by this transition. He said that the debate about what vehicles everybody is bound to drive in near future had been actually over. Those would be electric cars, just in case you wonder. The UK government had been providing substantial funding to help the whole electric vehicle transition by the car industry idea. The government spokesperson said that by putting the ban earlier, the UK would be the first G7 nation to significantly reduce air pollution and greenhouse gas emissions. In this way, the traffic will go on reducing each year, as by 2050 there will be more than 4 million fewer cars on the roads. A McLaren spokesperson stated that his company had been supporting decarbonization by zero-emission vehicles, but the hybrids should not be banned too early. A Honda representative pointed out the fact that technologies like electric batteries, advanced hybrid, hydrogen and e-fuels are actually used by Honda as well. A Jaguar Land Rover spokesperson said the company had started producing electric vehicles and advancing towards making its brand 100% electric. Make sure to check out one of the videos shown on your screen right now. We post videos daily, so feel free to subscribe and stay up to date on all most recent news and updates.